ever laid in a ship, and that's what would attach to the turn of the bilge. Perfect. We don't want to clean up a mess anyway. Just go overboard, that's fine. But you'll see where that board sits on that flat board. So it would attach to what's called the turn of the bilge on the bottom of that port side. So we're going to head out to the edge of that reef to see what they hit. On our way out there, you may notice some black rock and different debris on the way. There's another ship that went through here called the Drake, and she hit the reef as well. She didn't do any hull damage, but she kind of got stuck. I don't know if any of from the Midwest, you know, you get stuck in a ditch and you have to rock here. Okay, that's what these guys did, and they figured out that if they started throwing stuff overboard, they'd land their load. They threw 100 ton of high-grade iron ore overboard. So that's still out here, and that's protected under the Alger Underwater Preserve as well. But we'll see big patches of it. And there's big patches of it. But they did go on their way. They did crash or wreck 3 years later out by Whitefish Point. And if you ever get a chance to go out there, that's pretty cool. The Shipwreck Museum. Actually, Drake's rudder is out front of that museum. About 8 feet. But you guys will notice when we get up into the more sandstone, there's a bunch of rock. See all that black rock? That's all that iron ore. And remember that the captain or the first mate took a wrong compass reading, and I don't know if you know anything about iron ore, it's all magnetic, so it attaches, so maybe that's what accounted for the wrong compass reading. You think that first mate ever made captain, at least not of this ship. So look for those round holes, those are pestles.
Or that's why it's sunk 3 years later.
So the Herman H. Hetler needed 14 feet, fully loaded of draft. There's only 8. So we're going to look for that color change. We're going to go from about 8 feet to about 30 feet. So the stern sat here for 3 days overhanging before it finally let loose. That picture I was telling you about that's in the gift shop, you can see exactly how much of it fell off because we know what's down here. We'll find a smokestack down here. The window was a little bit open. So we're down here looking for what hung over the edge of the reef. Yes, there's all kinds of stuff. Got lots of weight out here. Some debris down there. Old boilers. There's a big shaft. And there's the smokestack. Smokestack is right over here. It's got a little hole in it. That smokestack points right at that white ring and that white line, captain's commode, and his bathtub. So they had a clawfoot bathtub on board. I used to think all these guys were traveling in luxury, but 17 men, one bathtub, no. So you guys, the captain's name was John Johnson. You guys have all just seen John Johnson's John? But on a boat, they do call it a head, so it sounds better to call it John than John Johnson's head.
Ooh, that's a big rock.
So look at that. They needed 14, they only had 8. What do you think the captain said? Oh shucks, oh darn. Oops. But you can see some of those pestles starting, those holes. Okay, if you guys want to find your way back to your seats, we're going to do one more stop at the East Channel Lighthouse for some photo opportunities, but sit back and enjoy the ride.